inspired to help you draw a landscape. Now, we have drawn landscapes together before, and if you don't remember what a landscape is an area of the land outside as the artist can see it. And I went home yesterday and I was looking in my house at this painting that my husband's grandfather made before he passed away. And he made a painting of sailboats sailing up in New York where we both grew up. And it was such a pretty painting and it made me so happy. I think it would be fun to draw sailboats out at sea. And you could see sailboats down here in Florida as well. So I am super excited. Let's get started. Grab a pencil and turn your paper in a landscape layout. Landscape layout is a horizontal page, just like this. So take your pencil. We're going to start making our landscape. The first line we are going to create is the horizon line. Now we want plenty of room for sky, but also plenty of room for water. So I'm going to find halfway and move a little bit down. I'm going to put a little dot here. That's about where I want my horizon line to be. The horizon is where the land meets the sky, or it appears to, because the earth is round and the land doesn't meet the sky. The sky is way up high, but because of the curve of the earth, that land and sky appear to touch. So I'm going to just sketch out a line. You can make a much nicer line than me. I'm on my computer, so it's hard to draw a straight line. If I was on paper, I'd grab a, wow, bad, Miss Shado. I'd grab a ruler. But actually, wait a second. Clicking might make this easier for me. Let's see if I can do a line. Ha ha. Let's try this. There we go. All right, so actually, I'm going to start over. Don't judge me, people. Tool. All right, so there's my line. All right, so once you've got that horizon line, we are going to go ahead and put some shapes in the background. We're going to imagine that there's little hills off in the distance, and this is a bay or sound, which is a body of water that's a little in from the sea. Maybe it'll be the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe there's little hills back there. So go ahead and have fun making some lines that kind of overlap, some wavy. Have fun. Design the hills that you want back there. And if they're not perfect, you can erase them. Don't press too hard with that pencil, guys. Actually, I'm going to turn this into two hills. There we go. So there are my hills. Maybe you want to put some clouds back there. If you're going to put some clouds in your sky, remember clouds, they're not going to be perfectly sized, round poofs. I mean, you can do clouds like that. But don't stress about the fluffs on your clouds. Just kind of bounce, some small, some large. We're going to put a variety of shapes. I'm even going to have my clouds kind of disappearing on that horizon line, like big clouds. You can even make a double layer of clouds here. Fun, fun. Maybe I'll make my second cloud kind of floating up here. You're the artist. If you don't want clouds at all, you want different kinds of clouds than me, go for it. Don't overthink it. I'm also going to think about what else might be in my background. I'm working background to foreground because a lot of artists do work that way. A real painter, he or she's going to work from the background to the foreground. Foreground's the front of your painting or drawing, and the background is what is way in the back. I'm going to put some birds in the sky. Don't overthink your birds. Just a little flick like that will make the perfect little bird. And birds usually fly in groups called a flock. Maybe I'll put 3 little birds there. You can put more if you want. A whole flock of birds flying off into the sky. Now, for the rest of my drawing, I have to think about what's in the middle ground and the foreground, which is the front. So this is the water here. This is some land off on the horizon line. We've got some clouds, some birds, and some sky, and we'll color that all later. I'm going to put at least 2 sailboats, possibly 3. And I have to remember the rules of space. I'm making a flat drawing, but I'm thinking of 3D space. And in real life, when objects are close to you, they appear larger. And when they're far away, they appear smaller. So I'm going to draw a close-up large sailboat because it's large, because it's close. Okay, you'll have to forgive me. It's been a long day. I'm not speaking that intelligently today. All right, so I'm going to start thinking about the sail. The tip of the sail I want to hit here. I'm going to put a little dot. I think I want the tip of my sail to hit here. And I'm going to imagine the sail is going to be this big triangle that comes out. So I'm going to go ahead and swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. It's not a perfect triangle. Now, I'm making a triangle because a sail is a large piece of cloth that gets pushed by the wind, and it helps push the boat. So if the air is flowing this way, that triangle of cloth is going to be kind of pushed and stretched and curved because that wind is pushing it. Now that I have that triangle there, that big old triangle that goes from the sky down to part of my water, don't go all the way down because we need to put the bottom of the boat there. I'm going to grab my eraser, and I'm on my computer, so I'm using my computer eraser. But if you're on paper, grab your pencil eraser and erase where these things overlap, because this sail is in front of the hills, it's in front of the clouds, it's in front of the sky, so we're not going to see them back there. You want to erase where they overlap. And there we go. And now that I've erased all that, this big triangle-ish shape looks like it's in front of this. It also kind of looks like a shark's fin right now because I didn't draw anything else yet. So we're going to have to draw the rest of that sailboat because I don't want anything creepy going on here. All right, so now I'm going to make a shape kind of like this. Longer front, smaller back. I'm going to swoop. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight and connect. There's my little sail. And then I'm going to draw a wavy line of that sailboat sitting in the water. Now really, that sailboat will go under the water. It's floating in the water, but we're not going to see that. That has disappeared underneath those little waves. So there's my boat. It's a very simple shape. Don't overthink your boat when you're drawing this, okay? So we've got the front of our boat, a long, slight curve, slight swoop for the top of our boat, the side here, and then a little curved line for the back. Now we, of course, need I think they call it a mast. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I've never gone sailing. My dad growing up got terribly seasick. Even though I grew up on an island, I never went sailing in my life. I just love to watch the sailboats. But I believe the mast is the tall wood or metal pole that holds up the sail. So I'm going to take the pencil tool again, and actually I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use the line tool that Clicky has now. You can use a ruler if you want. That's not cheating at all, guys. Using a ruler when you draw is not cheating. We're going to put that straight line there for the mast. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a couple lines here, like this is some ropes here. All right, now I want to design my sail. I want to put some fun, funky lines. Maybe you want to put zigzags on your on your sail. Maybe you want polka dots or hearts with Valentine's Day coming up. Maybe you want swirly McGirlies. I think I'm feeling swirly lines today. I'm going to put some swooping, swirly, curved lines. Curved lines give a really good feeling of movement, even though it's a static. Static means not moving. Drawing, and it's not moving at all. Curved lines kind of give the illusion of movement. Illusion is kind of an eye trick. So I want to make it feel like this is just floating in the wind, give it a good feeling of movement, and I'm going to put those curvy lines on my sail. All right, so there's my boat. Maybe I'll even put a couple of lines to suggest there's some wood planks on my boat. Adding those details really spices up your drawing and makes it more interesting. All right, so I've got one boat. I said I want to have at least 2, possibly 3, and I'm remembering that in real life, as objects are farther away, they look smaller because they're so far. So if this boat is up close and down here, if I want another boat back here, it's going to be a bit smaller. And look at these hills. If I was up close to these hills, they'd be huge. But because they're far away, they appear very small. So let's think about it. I think I'm going to make a boat about this size, a little sailboat. And I'm going to have it go in the opposite direction, I think. I don't know. Should I have it go? No, I think I want my next boat to go that way. It's going the opposite way. So I'm going to put a little line here, a little line there. There's my little wavy ocean waves. And then I'm going to swoop and connect. This is a complicated drawing. It's not too hard. It's just got a lot of parts. So if you need to pause this video at any time to catch up and work on a part of your drawing that needs a little bit of attention, give it a pause, take your time, have fun with it. Alright, so again, I need a triangular shaped sail, but this time I want this sailboat going that way, so the wind will be pushing those triangle shapes this way. So I'm going to put a dot up here and a dot down here, and I'm going to make a curved line. Again, a curved line, and a little bit of a curve and a connect. Now before I do anything else, I'm taking my eraser and erasing any shapes where they overlap. This sail is in front of the water, it's in front of the hills, it's in front of the clouds, it's in front of the sky. So all of those things will be erased here. There we go. Now I need the mast. Please be what it's called. And I'm going to go ahead and put that line. There we go. Another sailboat. I think I am going to put a third sailboat. You don't have to. I'm just feeling a third sailboat. And I'm not sure what should I put on this? I think this one will be my zigzag friend. I'm feeling different lines. Variation in artwork is super important. Variation means different kinds of things, whether it's different lines, different colors, different shapes, different sizes. You want variety to spice up your art. I'm going to put one more little teeny tiny sailboat hidden way back here, and it's going to be super tiny. So, here we go. I'm going to put my little sail. He's going to be going this way, just like this big daddy boat right up close. 2 and 3. Time to erase where they overlap. Don't get stressed out. If my drawing seems really tough to you, you need to take a step back and think about why you're telling yourself this is too hard for you. Does your art have to be as good as mine? No! I bet it'll be better, because you know what, kids? As long as they are not overthinking it and they're having fun with their art, they make the best art there is. Do not aim for perfection, aim for fun. Trust yourself. All right, time for the mast. Little skinny line. Boom. I've got 3 sailboats in my water. I've got hills back here, clouds, sky, birdies, so many details. The last lines I'm going to mess with before I move on to color is just some more little gentle waves back here. So I'm going to tell you guys something. When you draw water, less is more. And what I mean by that is you don't need to draw every single wave. Just draw a few and have them kind of not all in a straight row like this. That doesn't really look like waves. But if you stagger them, staggering meaning one's over here and then you move over a little bit and then maybe you move back over this way a little bit so that they're not all even, just a few little lines goes a long way and it really looks like water or soft little waves. Drawing done. Now, if you're not done, I can't talk. If you are not done with your drawing yet, pause the video, finish up, and then continue. Now again, I'm on my computer so I can color lightning fast. Do not feel bad about yourself. If you can't color as fast as I can, I've got my handy dandy paint bucket tool and I'm going to use it. You are probably drawing on paper and it will take you some time to color. And coloring your art should take time. Color carefully, stay in the lines, think about color, think about what you know about color. Now this is a landscape, so we're drawing things that are in the world outside, so we generally know the sky will be blue, The ocean will be a darker blue or a teal kind of greenish blue. Pick the color you like for the ocean. The clouds should be white or off-white, and the sailboats can be any old color you want. Our land will be green. But you want to pick colors that complement each other well. You don't want the sky and the ocean to be the exact same color because they're not the exact same color in real life. The ocean should be a little darker. We want some contrast in here. Contrast is when things are a little bit different, not exactly the same. So if you look at this, I've got a nice dark blue for my ocean and a nice light blue for my sky. I'm thinking of a very happy, bright, sunny day with a bunch of sailboats going around. And I'm thinking and making sure that I get all the little nooks and crannies that need to be blue, whoopsies, like the ocean. There we go. There's that little one that I was missing. All right. So I would definitely start with thinking about what color you want for your sky. Hey, maybe you don't want a blue sky. Maybe this is a sunset. Maybe you want to put purple or yellow fading to orange, fading to purple, fading to a deep indigo blue. You can do a sunset sky. Maybe you want to put a sun up here and have some sunbeams coming through. You are the artist. Make the picture that makes you happy. I am going to be making a sunny day. I'm also going to be using different colors for my hills. I'm going to do dark green on this guy and this guy. Not that. No. I need to zoom in clearly. Alrighty. And I'm going to pick a lighter green for some of these other hills. But only slightly lighter, just so there's, again, a little bit of variation. I don't want exactly the same greens all over the place. See that? Now that all looks like land, but it looks like maybe some are farther away because they're a little bit lighter, and some are closer because the color is more rich and intense. Just having that variation in color makes a big difference in your art. Now, if you're coloring with crayons or markers when you color that land, and you only have one green, if you're coloring with a crayon or a colored pencil, press really hard with the green on some places and it'll be really dark, and barely touch when you're coloring on another hill and it'll come up nice and soft and light. That'll give you the same kind of variation as me going through and picking different values of green. Value is lightest light to darkest dark. Value in money is how much it's worth. Value in color is how light or dark it is. Light, dark, light, dark. Woohoo! All right. I've got the sky. I'm leaving the clouds alone. I've got the land. And now I have to color and paint my sailboats. I want, again, to think about color. I know blue, green, and purple are cool colors. Cool colors kind of fall to the background. They make you think of cool, calm things. Warm colors, red, orange, and yellow, they kind of pop forward at your eye. They're very intense, and they're good to use in the foreground of your artwork because they're intense and because they seem to come forward. So it'll make everything in the front of your art seem to come even more forward. So I am purposely choosing warm colors for my sailboats. And I'm going to go ahead and put some warm colors on my boat's little sails here. Let's see. Maybe I'll use that orange here too. Actually, I'm going to make that red. Let's see. Use that red here and here. Yellow, orange, red. I'll make yellow, orange, and red. I'm going to change the pattern. I'm thinking a pattern too. Pattern can be really, really good to use in art. Yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange, red. So this has to be orange. Yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange, red. There we go. And this guy, I think I'm just going to make him have one orange sail. Oh, I missed a little green spot here. I think the final touch for me is I'm going to take a nice deep blue and I'm just going to trace over some of these little wavy lines. Just put a little more intensity there instead of my black. Intensity is when something's really, in art, intensity is, it can be a feeling. Like, wow, that person, if it's a picture of a person, you're like, wow, their face is so intense. Like, it's got a certain feeling to it. Colors can be intense if they're really, really full of color or really dark. So I'm picking a deep, rich blue, and I'm saying this is intense. All right, and I think this just about does it for my happy day sailing out on a bay or a sound. Maybe you made the same picture as me. Maybe you changed it. Maybe you changed the color. Maybe you changed the layout. Maybe you changed how many sailboats. I think whatever art you made, it is perfectly, perfectly you. And I hope you had a ton of fun making this landscape with me. And I look forward to drawing with you again soon. Have a great day, guys.